Hello, my friends. How are you this evening? I see a lot of people in the chat, and thank you so much for being here with me tonight. As you can see, Tater is joining us early. He is getting big. He's starting to look like a grown-up instead of a little puppy now. All right. I'm just going to say some hellos here while we get into it. I've got Michelle J. Hi, Michelle. I saw you last night. I can't remember where that was, but somewhere. I think Orlando Prepper. Rita. Hi, Rita. Florida Glitz. Hello. Lori's Thrifty Kitchen Pantry. I know she's getting a storm right now, and that, I think, is the storm that we just got through with. It was crazy. I see Uncle Al up in the chat. And I did add Lori's Thrifty Kitchen Pantry as a mod. And thank you so much for modding for me tonight. Really appreciate that. Carrie Newsom, hello. Tony DG, hello, Tony. And who else we got in here? If you just want to comment where you're watching from, no, we're not doing that. We're not. Hi, Seabass. How you doing tonight? Good to see you here. Let's see. Yeah, you're on camera. Do you see yourself? I think it blew his mind. All right. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you. Nobana, hello. Good to see you. Michelle's buzzing in here from Southeast Tennessee. Yeah, Tater is in full effect. He is having a really tough night tonight. His teeth are very itchy, and he just is having a tough evening. And we got 7 new chickens today, and Mr. B is out in the chicken house trying to make sure that they are all doing what they're supposed to be doing, getting up on the roost and all that. Hoosier Prepping Nurse, definitely go and subscribe to her channel if you haven't yet. She's got a couple of shorts on there that I watched today, as a matter of fact. The Banks Homestead, hello, from North Carolina, and Ginny Pennington. Hello, my friend. How are you? Good to see you. Michelle Flo from Kansas coming at us tonight. And Hoosier Prepping Nurse, are you in Indiana? I just am wondering. Uncle Al's from the boonies. I like it. Okay. So tonight we're here to celebrate our wins for the week. The week before last, we talked about the problem. Last week, we talked about some solutions. And now we're going to be talking about our wins. What did we do as far as the week went to move the needle forward on our prepping? Simply Smallwood is coming at us from Virginia tonight. Hoosier is in Northeast Indiana, and tomorrow she's going to post a video about how easy it is to get rings for gamelid seal on a bucket. Cool. I'll be looking forward to that one. And all right. So we had Tater, come on now. He likes to try to get on the computer because he is a tiny businessman. Yeah, he's a tiny businessman. Okay, so one great thing that I heard this week was that prepping is lifestyle insurance. And I love the thought of that because I am, as a prepper, preserving my lifestyle in case something happens. Now, that doesn't have to be a serious SHTF or world without rule of law or any of that stuff. It literally can just be a job loss or maybe a layoff or an injury, or, you get sick, you get the flu, you have to take a few weeks off of work, you have to have a surgery. So it could be anything from a personal SHTF, a weather event. There could be a multitude of things that would be needed if you had if you needed some lifestyle insurance. So I think I'm going to carry that around in my head for the next couple weeks, that by prepping, I am preserving my lifestyle. All right. Win for Kelly S. coming in already. Kelly, where are you coming in from? I'd love to know. Made some shelf-stable pickled onions. Hey, that's great. Pickled onions are delicious. Tony's taking a step back from prepping. Family with 2 kids needed help. Oh, that's wonderful. And that's a lot of the prepper community. To be brutally honest, we're all mostly givers. There's a very small element of very greedy, selfish people, but most preppers are very generous people. All right. Michelle Flo, living to paycheck, prepping helps get to the next payday. Absolutely. Oops. Okay. KP in Burbank here, the armpit of America. Oh, goodness. Karen, I saw a video about Los Angeles recently, and I was floored at how crazy it is. There's just garbage everywhere. That's definitely not the visual image that I have of California in my head, but I guess that's kind of reality. Bought and planted 3 mulberry trees. Hey, that is awesome. I love that. Mulberries grow really well where I am in Florida right now, so I would love to get some mulberry trees. I got plums about 6 months ago. I got plums and blueberries. I was off 3 months last year with surgery on both arms. Gave me a chance just to use my preps. Yeah, and with injured arms. That's wonderful. I am so glad to hear that you had your preps to lay back on during a time of need. I know Mr. B and I both had surgery last year, and we do not have health insurance. So we were 4 months without Mr. B's paycheck, and then I used all my PTO and ended up working from home from about 10 weeks. All right. Oh, Seabass, thank you for going over and subscribing to Hoosier. That was very nice of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, all the past images of Hollywood, California are gone. And so the dogs have decided to fight beside the tripod. Dixie knows she's leaving. She is leaving. I have some insurance just in case. This just has water in it. They do not like that at all. Oh, thanks, Yarn Prepper. If everybody could give me a thumbs up, I really would appreciate it. All right, Florida Glitz. Read the book 1 second after and couldn't sleep for a few days, but what an eye-opener. Florida Glitz, if you've never read Alas, Babylon, that is a great book about prepping, and it is based in Florida in the 1950s. Highly recommend. My son and I read that when he was in the 7th grade together, and it's still one of my favorite books. Let me just take a look. Kelly asked, it always makes me chuckle when I see tourism ads for California. It's so not what the commercials show. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. The spray bottle works. They're terrified of that thing. All you have to do is pick it up and they're like, I don't want any part of that. I'm just going to leave. I don't need it. And it's so effective, yet you don't yell at them. You're not spanking them or anything like that. Just a squirt of water, and they don't care for that. Okay. So we're going to talk about wins tonight, and my goodness, I have notes. I am so happy that you guys are responding to the surveys and the community posts. I can't thank you enough. So I put up a community post as a survey that was which bill had increased the most, and 75% of the people that responded said groceries, and 19% said electric. Kelly S. said that her food bill has doubled. And a lot of people put that their heating oil was definitely going up. The price of gas was going up, gasoline. Betty Tant, her light bill was $673.45. I would croak. Absolutely 100% croak if my light bill was almost $700, especially if the next month my light bill again was $700. Sue Boa said food first and gas second. Stacy Market said that her rent went up, and that's a thing that a lot of Americans are facing right now, is having their rent go up. And then she used to spend $50 on groceries every 2 weeks just on herself, and she definitely can't do that anymore. It's double that. I've got Cold War Prepper jumping into the chat. Hello, welcome. I'm glad that you and your wife are feeling better. That makes me happy. I just saw a comment from Michelle Flo. Hi, Nene. I see you in the chat. I was blessed enough to pick up chicken for 68 cents a pound this week. Wow, what a great price. That is a win. I am so glad when people are empowered to pick, to get stocked up and get the things that they need to get and do it now. Kelly Frazier, I get $83 EBT a month. That's not enough. You're absolutely correct. That is not enough. Even if you eat rice and beans, that is not enough. Michelle. Yeah, I haven't seen 68 cent a pound chicken in years as well. That is definitely a win. Michelle said insurance going up to car renters and home insurance. 100%. My son talked to me this morning for about a half an hour. He is 25 years old and he does live in the tiny house next door to me. He was paying his rent and he said that his car insurance went up $150 for 3 months. So $300 for 6 months. He asked if there was a discount if he paid immediately instead of making the monthly payments, and they did knock it down just a little bit, but he actually had to renegotiate and get a smaller policy because of the increased price. And he's a young man. He does work, but yeah, it was definitely one of his first big punches to the gut as a 25-year-old, and having mom for a landlord, probably is a lot easier than a lot of people because I don't raise his rent. He pays a very fair market rent. William Gibson said that his electric and natural gas have tied as far as going up. Kathy Ellers using lentils instead of meat, and that her electric has gone up the most. Joanna the singer made a really great point out in the chat, and she said fighting to turn the heat on, and when she does finally turn it on, she's going to set it at 60 for the whole winter, which is darn cold. I've lived up north before, and I would not want my I would not want my heat at 60 at whatsoever. So Boo Boo made a very interesting comment. She said in Reno, Nevada, nothing has changed. Groceries are up a few dollars, but nothing really to worry about. So I'm kind of wondering if over in the chat, you can let me know what you think about that. I don't know much about Nevada, but I do know that they are having water problems. And I don't know, I don't know how realistic that point of view is. I'm seeing a question. I saw a question. Hold on. All right. Orlando Prepper made it. Hi, I'm so glad to see you. I love Orlando Prepper live, and he's doing some 1-minute preps that are fantastic. Yarn Prepper, thank you so much. Super chats are not necessary, but always appreciated. And I do send all of the money that I do use all of the money that I make on my YouTube right now to send all my packages to my son and his platoon. And they are deployed somewhere in Eastern Europe, close to a border that we're trying to watch really closely. So yeah. Anyway, he was bit by a spider recently, my son, and yeah, he's been having a tough go of it. When he first got there, he got E. coli, and then he got bit by the spider. It has to be a brown recluse. It's one of the nastiest spider bites I've seen in a long time. They put him on some antibiotics, and actually that is helping. But I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. Kelly S. We bought a pound of ground beef today to make hamburgers. Otherwise, we use the canned stuff. And ground beef was $10 a pound. Oh, my goodness. My poor heart. Like, you need to warn somebody before you throw a price of $10 out for some burgers. But, it's, I know someone's selling rocks on Etsy. Oh, my. I wonder what kind of rocks they are. The prices are definitely up. My husband, Mr. Biggs, the other day, he was like, why don't we stop at Winn-Dixie and just get something to put on the grill? And I said, absolutely not. We're not doing that, because we used to be able to find something marked down and we would just bring it home and throw it on the grill with some vegetables. We're not doing that anymore. I was like, we can pull something out of the freezer. I'm really sorry, honey, but that doesn't work anymore. Karen Shute was talking about her heating oil. I need to go back and find that question. Where is it? Oh, there we are. Missy B. You're always so happy. Question, in your opinion, how much worse is this going to get? Mr. B and I were speaking about that this morning, about how that I don't like to scare people. I like to empower people. I really feel like if now you take control of your skill set, your mindset, and your preparedness, you will be able to navigate the seas that are coming. However, if if you decide that you're going to stick your head in the sand or you're going to ignore the problem, you're in for a world of hurt, you and your family. There's going to be some hard choices coming as far as, do I pay my light bill or do I feed my kids? And, you know, my kids are having to wear last year's clothes and maybe they're a little too tight now, but we, you know, we may have to move out of our house and move in with grandma. There's going to be some massive changes for people, and your mental fortitude, spiritual fortitude, and physical shape are all going to play a part in how you're able to navigate that for your family. So back to the wins, because this is making me happy. I really like it when people really steer their own ship and decide, hey, you know, I got a win, and I like to celebrate those. Nobana says, mine is natural gas, $31 a month to $107 a month. And the reason they gave me was Texas extreme cold weather from February 2021. That's kind of strange. Yeah, I'll talk more about what I think is coming in the future at the end of the video. Yeah, 60 degrees is going to be rough for that thermostat. I would not care for that at all. I hide under an electric blanket as it is, and I live in Florida. Carol Renner says groceries, electric, and gasoline. That's mostly what people were saying, 100%. And we got an email. I printed it out, but I don't have it in front of me, that the light bill that's already gone up 3 times in the calendar year for my personal light bill is going up again by another $5 per month, just base. So $8, $8, $4, and now $5. So it's been 9 months this year, and they've had 4 increases already. Yeah, Tony, thank you. Look at you. Thank you so much. That literally pays for half of the flat rate shipping for a big box to go to the troops, and that can be as heavy as I want it. So thank you so, so much. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. Yes. Support the channel with a thumbs up and a heart. It's so funny. YouTube loves that thumbs up. They're so crazy. Yeah, we're not allowed to send anything liquid in the packages. I literally thought, you know, if Mama was there, I would get out the kitchen voodoo and I would get to work on that spider bite as soon as it happened and avoid those antibiotics. When he was a little boy, he got bit by a brown recluse 4 times. He was climbing in a wood pile. He had 4 separate bites, and it was a bad summer for 5-year-old Nathan. Really bad. He still has the scars to prove it. So he's actually has gratitude that he was the one that got bit. A couple other soldiers got bit, but not as bad as him, because he's been through it before and he knew what to expect. But a funny story, because the medic said, okay, it's time for you to go on to some antibiotics. And he said, hold on, I need to contact my mother before you do that. And I thought, oh my gosh, Nathan, you don't say that to the Army medic, that you have to go and contact your mother before you go on the antibiotic to make sure it's the right one. And my husband said, apparently you outrank the medic. Yeah, that made me laugh. I'm going to carry that in my heart for the rest of my life, probably. $10 for burgers is still cheaper than McDonald's. Absolutely, 100%. Okay, Melissa says, Texas in the summer, so my electric has been crazy expensive. Last year, it was in the $300 range. This year, $500 plus. Oh my goodness. Melissa, that is crazy. Crazy. A positive realist. Karen's a positive realist. Preppers are way ahead of the game. Prep on, exactly. Hey, it's Marlene. Hi, Marlene. How you doing, honey? She was live last night with Erin and I can't remember the other lady, but really great live. I got to catch that. All right. So Yarn Prepper says gas and electric is on budget billing, but it went up $15. It can only get raised once every 12 months. Well, thank gosh for that. My goodness. Okay, so... oh, yeah, Martin Midlife Misadventures did have a spider bite a few months ago. Yeah, this is a nasty bite. It's on his left elbow. So wins. So Lori's Thrifty Kitchen Pantry, which if you haven't subscribed to her, run over and do that because I love this chick. She got her laundry all caught up. She got her dishwasher unloaded. She's getting back to filming and canning after being in the hospital, and I am so excited for her. Oh, thank you guys so much. You're going to make me cry. Look at you. Thank you, Crystal. I really appreciate that. And Kelly, thank you so much. So now we have postage to send a whole box, and this, Crystal, I'm going to use your $9.99 to get drink mixes. All of the soldiers are requesting drink mixes because all they have to drink is water and coffee, and that gets kind of boring. They love the little singles packets that you can dump into like a thing of water. Oh, there's Michelle. Michelle made a great comment. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate that. Bought a twin comforter to cover my unused door this window. Excellent idea. And there was another person in the chat last week that was talking about covering all of the doors and windows. Let's see. Good news for us. Our cell phone provider promised not to raise our rates at least through December of 2023. Well, that's awesome. That's really good. That's one of the calls that Mr. B and I made this past week was to come on, brain. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's one of the calls we made this week was to Verizon to see if there was anything they could do for us. They offered to have us spend more money, but not less. So Sarah Connor picked 15 pounds of tomatoes from her garden and canned some spaghetti sauce. Sits and Giggles. What a cute name. Got a 50-pound bag of potatoes, a free ham, is freezing onions. Her tomatoes are ripening in her garden, so she's ready to get those preserved. Tony DG, who I think is in the chat tonight. Hi, Tony. 180 jars for canning. Wow. Like off Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or one of those. Amazing. They had 200 jars advertised, but there was only 180, but she was still stoked. Katie Trapnell. Katie comments on all my videos. Thank you so much, Katie. She made and froze some tomato sauce and rendered lard, stocked up on ground beef noodles, and is planning a big shop coming up this weekend. Brennan Harmon got a pork butt, ribeyes, cube steak, and chicken, got potatoes, and convinced her husband to get a second freezer. Mr. B is a hard no on the second freezer. He will not do it. He says, you need to can it or you need to not buy it. He will not get me a second freezer. He's literally concerned that if we get a hurricane, we'll lose everything. And I totally understand that. Rebecca Bullock-Jarrick got wings on sale for her son's birthday. Listen, as a mother, I understand how important those birthday meals are. And my heart just was like, yay, because I totally get it. Michelle J's been doing a bunch of deep cleaning and organizing. I think Michelle's in the chat tonight too. Who's your prepping nurse? Love your new channel. Canning catch up with her tomatoes and going through her preps and organizing her garage. A quiet, orderly life. Recovering. She also is harvesting the last of her garden, saving seeds, and cleaning. Oh my goodness, Michelle, thank you. You guys are way too generous tonight. I'm going to be able to send a package like this week. I was going to wait till next week when I got my paycheck, but he's got a box going this week. Thank you. Literally, thank you. Double D Homestead, another great channel. Canned 3 quarts of tomato juice. And then the Bigs had some wins this week too, but I want to run through. I just want to say thank you. Michelle, my heart goes out to you. Thank you so much. Is your son in the services, or is your husband, or is your daughter, for that matter? My sister-in-law was in Iraq, and she is a bad A. Let me tell you that right now. I would not want to tangle with that woman. And then, who's your prepping nurse? Thank you so much. You guys have spoiled me this live. I love you so much. Okay. Michelle got that canner. Phone provider said they weren't going to raise rates. Thank you, Karen. We are praising the Lord tonight for these generous souls. Thank you so much. Lori says her brother always wanted drink mixes so he could dump it in his water bottles. That's absolutely right. They just all, and I have to tell you something. My son, I am so proud of him because he has been so generous with all the things that you guys have helped me send to him. The entire platoon has a complete hookup. And Lee, the Cold War prepper, let me tell you what, he hooked me up with a lady, and I cannot tell you the connections that have been made in for these boys who are just in the middle of dang nowhere, sleeping in tents, and it's going to be cold soon. Karen, how do you pay online like this? I only put cash in the bank when I have bills. Otherwise, I keep only cash. I do cash for a lot of things. I honestly do. I do cash for my groceries, gas, and anything that I can pay cash for, I do pay cash for. Like Tater's haircuts, my haircuts, anything I can pay cash for. But I do have online bill pay for pretty much everything else. Let's see. And the live chats are helpful. I love doing live chats because I learn so much from people all around the whole country. Just what's going on in your area. And I am totally addicted to Southern Prepper One, Boots on the Ground. When I'm doing the dishes first thing in the morning, the breakfast dishes, I'm listening to that. That is my news. Carrie Newsom says, this year I already stocked up on window film and bought new insulated blackout curtains for all the windows and sliding glass doors. Way to go, Carrie. I love how empowered that statement is. I am ready with an exclamation point. Like, don't mess with me, winter. I got you. I love it. Yeah, Tony says that's why she dumped Verizon and got Cricket. Yeah. So Verizon is pretty much the only thing that works out here in the National Forest. Sprint sometimes works, and it works in some places, but Verizon works out in the middle of nowhere in the forest, which is good because Mr. B takes his Jeep and his motorcycle out a lot of times hog hunting, and if something happens to him, he needs to be able to at least send a ping or something. Florida Glitz. I know we're in Florida, but the way, yeah. Let me tell you what, YouTube doesn't like those words, but it has snowed here before. It's been down to 19 degrees and it did snow. I remember my boys were little and we went outside and they were catching snowflakes like on their hands, just fascinated by the whole thing. I'm sure that I'm sure that he's not so fascinated now that he's in Eastern Europe and he's gonna freeze tonight. Today, for the first time in 20 years, I've been buying at LDS. There were purchase limits: 2 flour, 2 sugar, spaghetti, and macaroni. Wow. Lee, that is a heavy statement that you put on there. Thank you so, so much for sharing that, because if anybody wants to go over to the LDS site, just know that there may be some limits where there weren't any before. My Florida Oasis. Hi, welcome. All that produce talk is making me jealous. Yeah, we've had so much rain. We got 1 inch and 1.62 inches this afternoon here in the National Forest. It was insanity rain. Yeah. Kelly S., enjoy your dinner, and thank you so much for being here in the chat. I really appreciate you so much. Hi, Sam. I am so excited. And that you are here. Usually I do a wrap-up video as well. I try to post that by noon on Sunday. So if you can't stay for the whole thing, I make sure that everybody gets a chance to, get caught up. I made up 2 buckets for my grown daughter for her birthday. That's awesome. And then, oh my goodness, you guys have been so awesome with the chatting. Thank you, Lori, doing that admin job. I'm so excited to have you modding for me tonight, you and Uncle Al and Yarn. Don't forget about Yarn. Yarn has the best Instagram. Like, I love her Instagram. I like all of her posts. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm going to miss too. If the power goes out, well, I'm going to miss hot showers and air conditioning. Just don't be wrong about that. But I am going to miss the community. I love the community that we have here on YouTube. So many strong, gorgeous women, empowered and, thinking ahead of the curve. Then we have all the guys who are completely respectful, amazing family type men who are just in it to win it with all the rest of us. And I just love the community. Apartment Prepper. How are you, my dear? I hope you're feeling better. How are you and your brother? I hope they're better. Let's see. I'm going to run down through here. Yeah, the mosquitoes are terrible in the National Forest right now. And the other bugs too. The fleas just are so awful. Okay. Yeah, I do. I spend more time with the YouTube community than I do pretty much, yeah, with anywhere else. Okay. So wins for the bigs this week. Let's do a little yeah. Okay. So I called up and canceled a $25 membership to my dentist office. I just got all of my dental work completed. That's what I needed. I kept it for an additional 2 months. I'm kind of done with going to the dentist for the year, and I don't really need the membership. So I went ahead and canceled it. They were really nice about it. Mr. B still has his membership because he does have some more dental work to do this year. But I canceled mine. So that's $25 a month. We got 7 new chickens today. I'll have to put a video of them up. They are absolutely gorgeous. My friend Anne is switching over to one certain breed of chickens, and she kind of had some yard birds and a beautiful rooster. So I have to figure out what wrapper I'm going to name my rooster after. I'll have to put a post up on my community page and see who he is, because the one I have right now is Kanye, and he's a big black rooster, and he's just wild looking. I canned 7 points of pork. I have a huge Winn-Dixie haul. So look for a video on my Winn-Dixie haul next week. I'm going to do a video called How Preppers Shop to Stock the Prepper Pantry. So I'm just going to take you through what I look for in the flyer, how I do it, and then how I go into the store and how I'm going to save my money and stock my prepper pantry. Mr. B got all kinds of free concrete stuff, bird bath, and a bunch of other things. They are really dirty. They're very, very dirty, but a nice pressure washing, and they're gonna spiff up gorgeously. 2 huge concrete swans. They're really cool. We got 2 big bags of dog food, which, by the way, dog food was $49 a bag. Last time we bought dog food, we usually buy 2 to 3 bags at a time at 30 pounds, because that's how long it takes Dixie and Tater to eat through it without it going rancid or past the best by date. So I had Mr. B pick up an additional 2 bags because we were down to 1, and or whatever that math works out to. And the bag was $62. $62, and it went up from $49, and that was a big ouch for us. Good thing I canceled that membership for $25, because there's the difference. We ate out of the freezer and fridge. For September, we're going to be doing the Every Little Bit Counts challenge. I'm very excited for that. And then we put a couple things on subscribe and save. So that is, yeah, that's a good thing. So those are the wins at the Biggs household this week. I'm going to run back through some of the comments. Let's see. Oh, I'm glad. Apartment Prepper, I'm glad you guys are doing well now. That makes me happy. Let's just check this here. 89 watching and 68 likes. So if you could please press the like button, I really would appreciate it. YouTube just loves that like button. Hornworms ate my tomato plants and then jumped onto my peppers. Oh my gosh. That is just a gut punch. You have so much work and pride in a garden and all that stuff, and then to be wiped out by something this big is just horrifying. Karen, scared of the dentist. Yeah. So Mr. B hadn't been to the dentist in a really long time, but thankfully he has a wife that made the appointment for him and went ahead and got that set. And that was a huge prep that we got done in August, was getting him to the dentist. Let's see. Uncle Al has been slicing a slab of apple smoked bacon. Yummy. It's Sven from Norway. Hi, how are you tonight? What time is it there, Sven? It must be like 2 a.m. I think my son is kind of in the same time zone as you are, maybe a little bit, or off by, I don't know how the time zones work in Europe. That would be something I needed to learn. Let's see. Yeah. Hi, Tony. Cat food is $40 a bag, 11 pounds. Ooh. Yikes. Yeah. So Yarn Prepper says store extra rice and chicken for long-term pet foods. 100%. We have kind of a little bit of backup food. Dixie is really old. She is, she's an old girl. She doesn't eat quite as much as she used to, but she is a bull mastiff and Florida cur cross, and she's a big girl. Crypto Val says, I haven't tried it, but you can find horns with black lights at night. They're supposed to glow so you can find them and eliminate. Okay. Let's see. Just running down through. Get a solar shower, like use when you go camping. Yeah, that's a great idea. I still would miss, a real shower. Oh, September week at the end of the month, making soup and canning it. Hey, that is awesome. Lori, I'll look forward to those videos. I love canned soup. Let's see. Yarn wants to know if anyone is using the collagen from Costco. She started taking it for fibromyalgia and arthritis. I don't, because we don't have a Costco in Ocala. We have every other store. We don't have a Whole Foods and we don't have a Costco. Hay is so expensive right now. It's crazy. All right. These channels for prepping help with ideas and encouragement. Yeah. Yeah, this does sound like a group challenge, doesn't it? I think Lori should host. Soup September, canning soup. I definitely do that one. Okay, so if anyone has any questions for me, I would love to answer questions. I'm out of notes for tonight. Usually I have more to talk about. There's all kinds of ways to save money. And I know that we talked about a lot of them last week. And mostly this week, I just wanted to make sure that our budget was nice and tight and that they, I was doing everything that I could personally to make sure that our finances are ready for what's coming next. Mr. B and I are just kind of waiting for him to not have any more work. There is an aluminum shortage. He does do custom metal work. He works with a lot of aluminum and stainless steel. Those things are going to be in short supply as we go along to the future. The country that is the red one with the dragons, they have stopped exporting a lot of stuff, including metal. And so it's just been not great. We're waiting. And we have a plan. So if Mr. B does happen to get laid off, we will go ahead and see what part-time work he can pick up here or there, wherever. Doesn't matter. He has a great skill set and he is a very skilled tradesman. Not only can he weld, but he can do a multitude of other things, including fixing small engines and all kinds of stuff. So he'll be starting to pick up part-time work, and during hunting season, we'll be doubling down. Last year, I don't know if you saw a video, but last year we actually got a roadkill deer. It was hit right in front of me, and the man who hit it did not want to keep it. So Mr. B came with our neighbor and cut the deer up, and I canned it. That was our deer last year, and that literally was a prayer answered, because we try to get a deer every year. And so that was God working in our lives for sure, because poor Mr. B was recovering from his surgery and I was getting ready to have mine, and there really wasn't a lot of time for hunting. But he will be doubling down on hunting, and then probably looking for another job in January when hunting season is over. I see some questions, and thank you for putting those in all caps. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Yarn Prepper is doing a no-spend January. We do those quite often. Yeah, no-spend January. I have some videos on my other channel, The Biggs Homestead Kitchen, doing no-spend months. How's the outdoor kitchen going? Yeah, it has been insanely hot, like over 100 degrees every single day. And right now we kind of have the attitude of making hay while the sun shines. So while Mr. B has work and he has a little chance of overtime, any chance that he gets, he picks up overtime. So the outdoor kitchen, it's functional, but also kind of put on hold for the moment. as soon as it either slows down at work or cools down here on the homestead, we will be definitely 100% getting back on that. We have all the materials for it. We just need time to put it up. Ready for Hurricane Darlene. Let's hope that that is a fish storm and that only is out to sea and doesn't actually hit us. I don't think it will. However, I know that they are watching some other storms, and we are 100% hurricane ready pretty much all of the time. But I did go ahead and catch up all of the laundry in the last few days, just in case she decides to take a little trip to Florida. You know, if she tries to visit Disney, I'll be ready. Okay. Yeah, that country exports a lot, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. It definitely is. They have the zero tolerance policy for any kind of illnesses. And so that makes them shut down their ports. It makes them shut down all of their exports. And that's bad news bears for a lot of people in a lot of different industries. A lot of people think, oh, you know, you just shouldn't get those kind of goods from over there. Like, you don't need to be shopping for that kind of stuff. Well, what about our pharmaceuticals? What about our raw materials? And I mean, there's so many things that come out of that country. They could cripple us in about 3 days by just cutting us off. And not to mention the fact that they own an amazing amount of our debt, and they could just dump it onto the world market. And then we would be, you know, up a proverbial creek with no paddle. Okay, Julie says, just got back from a haul at a discount store in South Carolina. They've gone up some, but still cheaper. Now that I have a stockpile, I only buy items on sale and stock up when I can. I love that. Julie, congratulations. And welcome to the Cool Kids Club. You can sit with us at lunch, totally. Oh my gosh. No. Let me tell you what. That deer, I swear it, she still had the grass in her mouth from where she was chewing, and the guy in front of me, like one of them big yee trucks, he just hit her, and I'm telling you what, she went down, he stopped, I stopped, because I was right in back of him. He looked at her, looked at me. I said, do you want her? And he said no. And I said, okay, great. Let me make a call. I called my husband. I said, this deer just got hit in front of me. She's so fresh. She's still twitching. And he was like, all right, I'll be right there. Because it literally was about not even 5 miles from our house. So he came, and our neighbor, yeah, they put it in the back of the truck. You know, that's a really great question. Aren't canning lids tin coated? Could somebody Google that, please? And we could find out. I don't really know, but that's a great question. Lori said, I heard the hurricane is not affecting land, but yeah, there are a couple other storms, and it's that time of year. Right at September 1st to about mid-October is the worst for hurricanes here in Florida. That's the big time when you want to make sure that you have your preps in order. And this is also the time of year when we stop letting our tanks get below 3/4 of a tank. So at 3/4 of the tank, we're going and gassing up. And normally the rule is a half. When you get to a half a tank, you go gas up. But right now, during the peak hurricane season, the rule is 3/4 of a tank, because when there is a storm threatening Florida, everybody and their brother goes to the gas station. They also try to hoard gas. And if you saw on my Instagram recently, we got all of our cans stocked up probably 2 weeks ago. So that is what prepping looks like, is going ahead and getting what you need while the supply is still there. You're not taking from anybody. You're not hoarding. You are getting the supply that you need before any kind of panic actually happens. Yeah, the meds alone is going to hurt. Absolutely. So those nations, the BRICS nations, if you know what that stands for, if you don't, it's worth a Google. India is in there. Oh my goodness, the language. TNT. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt. Yeah, and they own our farmland too. Absolutely. So Smithfield Pork, I'm hearing that they are actually exporting the majority of their pork to the country with the dragons. So that is, yeah, that's sad because, American farmers are the ones that are growing and producing that pork for slaughter. And now they're headed, over somewhere else. And, I understand that they have needs and they need to feed their country as well. And maybe that will prevent some kind of like massive attack or EMP, the fact that they need us in that capacity. Really, though, they don't need us, and they don't care if their people starve. That has been proven throughout the centuries that they don't care about their own people. Kind of like some other governments I know. And I don't know if anybody saw that red light speech the other night. Whoo, Lord help me. Lord help me. Okay. Yeah, Michelle, I definitely had problems with my garden this year. Hardly nothing grew. The only thing really that we got in abundance is habanero peppers, and I don't eat those. Yeah, it was not a good garden year for us. Okay, Lori says, here's what Google says on canning lids. Most metal caps and lids are made of steel, which is sorted from other recyclables with an overhead magnet. Well, that's fascinating. Thank you so much for Googling that for us. All right. TNT said that he was sorry, and I'm sure he won't do it again, will you? Because there are other words that we can use with grown-ups that don't require the use of the letter F. Just in this setting. You want to use that in your own home, just do what you want. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that their garden was not great. Enough said. Tony DG. Yeah, a lot of people had problems with their gardens this year, and I don't know why. We had beautiful, fresh llama stuff. We had so much rain. Yeah. Thank you, Yarn, for the reminder that we need to keep it family friendly. I do have kids that watch my channel, and I know it's a little late sometimes for little ones, but I just like it when, there are so many more interesting words to use besides that one. Carol says had garden problems. Peppers and cucumbers were really bad. We got one cucumber. It was an orb because we had so much rain. Yes, Smithfield is owned by the Dragon Company, Missy. You're absolutely right. Neighbor to the north owns most of the farmland, and then oh yeah, that goofly dweeb. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't like that guy. The Windows guy. All right. U.S. government. You're right. None of them do. If someone says I'm here from the government and I'm here to help, nope. I'm going to go with a big no. Oh, garden was okay, except for cucumbers and zucchini. Well, we didn't get any zucchini this year either, and it was so strange because we get cucumbers and zucchini. Yeah, I saw that. It was very ominous. The red lighting and all the, it was definitely a very set stage. And I always will remember the kind Christmas message that was sent out referencing a winter of death and, all that, by our own people that are supposed to be watching us. Yeah. A winter of death. I remember that. I thought it was a joke the first time I saw it. Yeah, Michelle, don't feel bad about your crops failing on the first try. Mr. B and his dad are expert gardeners, in my opinion. They have been gardening in Florida for decades, and neither one of their gardens did a dang thing this year. I've never seen anything like it before in their lives. Oh, poor Karen. What is rain? We literally got over 1.5 inches just today. Yeah, we really do need to dry out for a few days. I really think that the fire danger in Florida is finally down to low. We were at high and medium for a long time. Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. I shouted you out to this in the notes too. Garden hasn't been great either. Only the grape and cherry tomatoes did well. The larger tomatoes were sad. Husband's peppers are finally coming in. Mr. B took a blowtorch to our garden and basically torched everything except for the habanero pepper plants, which are still doing well and still producing. But everything else was just burnt up. So he just took the torch in and went in and just burnt everything. That's how we do it. And then we till and then we start over. Julie's garden did great this year with the exception of corn and melons. They didn't do good. Oh, yeah, good. In Northeast Georgia. We actually grew corn this year, and that did very well. It was very strange. Carol, been canning meat out of the freezer and dehydrating. My goodness, you've been a busy lady. Fall garden. We're going to be starting our fall garden probably next weekend. We should start it this weekend, but I don't know. If we go to the corners tomorrow, maybe I will. Drought, heat, flooding is why you may need to prep for just more than 1 year. Absolutely. And make sure you have those seeds. Make sure that you have those seeds. And the plants that do survive, that do put off some seeds, make sure you're saving those seeds because those are tough. That's the takeaway. It's like they're hinting and condition. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Be prepared. Yeah, they're not going to make a big announcement. They're just going to do it. Oh, yeah, 10 minutes to pinball. Okay, thank you, Yarn, for the reminder. Let's just wrap it up. What am I planting in my garden? So this year we're going to be planting carrots for sure and turnips because our turnips did turn out fairly well and we like turnips. Tomatoes. The tomatoes are going to be on shortage, so definitely doing tomatoes, probably doing some peppers, hoping to do some zucchinis. Basically, we're just going to take the things that we normally buy and just normally buy at the store and see if we can grow it. Absolutely. All right, you guys, I think I am going to run. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on the live. And thank you for the super chats. I cannot thank you enough and tell you how much that means to me to have the boxes go out. In fact, I'll be able to send a box this week and I won't have to wait until next week. So thank you. Great chat, everybody. Thank you so much for your comments. And if you have a topic for next week, let me know because I would love to chat about what interests you and not just what interests me. Thanks, you guys, and I'll see you over at Pinball. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.